Yo, what is up, everybody? Legend Crazy back with another Rust video, obviously based on the thumbnail and title. We're doing a little base building action, and I just want to give a clarification. I have no idea if this base has already been built by someone else. It might be, it might not be. I don't watch a lot of base building videos, and I truly just kind of came upon this build myself when I was in Builder's Paradise, which currently I'm in, Overlord 38, Builder's Paradise. Now, obviously, this base would work on Rust, PC, Rust console. Building's pretty much the same. Both of it, but yeah, I don't really have a name for this space. I do just kind of like how heavily fortified it feels to me. I've used it in one of my wipes, um, and it's pretty much it. I mean, I mean, obviously the title's gonna have the name of the base, whatever you want to call it in the title. I don't really know what I'm gonna call it yet, so, but we'll start off with here. We'll start with the core rock. So we got our little core action. We're actually gonna bump up to armored because, well, yeah, cores, you always gonna want that being armored. Alright, so let's actually then wall this. Actually, we'll add the extra foundations. So, wanna just pop these standard foundations out right there. We're just gonna upgrade those to metal. I mean, I guess you could do stone. I mean, ideally, you're gonna want core as your strongest thing possible before you start messing around. And, listen, man, get, 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 get. Get the fuck out of here. I'm building, champ. Alright, so you want to place some triangle foundations over here as well. Alright, bro, listen. You can crib over here as much as you want, but yeah. You can't build over here, so it really doesn't matter. So you kind of want to look like something like this, like almost like a pretty much circle. That's really what you're going for so far. And then you want to add an additional. Let's jump into here. Yeah, so you want to do that, and then that for right now. We'll upgrade this to stone for right now. We'll kind of just do kind of like layers. You know, obviously this is core. This is like that second layer. It's like this third layer. So we'll work on that here. Yeah, so then you'll want to do like this. So bring out the standard. So you want to obviously make it kind of a cross here. So when you place this one, this is kind of your walkout here. So you have some doors over here and etc. And then we'll place that so it kind of looks like that. All right. Then you also want to do it at the other applicable crosses as well. So obviously straight across will work perfectly. And then we'll also do these corner pieces right here. We'll want to do as well. Can't really. I don't know how people get in those like flying ones, but you kind of see that, right? All right. So now we're gonna add some more of these triangle foundations. Alright. Alright, so that's what we're kind of running with right now. Kind of see that, Alright. Then we're going to add a good old, oopsie daisy, foundation there, foundation there. Did I miss one over there? I did not. And foundation here as well. Now, once you're done with that, you can break some of these foundations. However, we're going to upgrade a couple of these to stone just to lock some of the ones we want kind of locked in at the moment. So we want to do that. We want to break. Oh, oopsie daisy. All right, we'll just do that. Break that. Leave this. I'm trying to remember here. Okay, actually, well, I kind of skipped a step here. We're gonna just jump right back to that. We're gonna get the triangle foundations. Place that right there. Just on the triangles that don't have it. There we go. That's what I meant to do. That is what I meant to do, and I actually messed up slightly here because I want to bring that one and not this one. So that is a my fault. Quickly apologize for that. I'm just doing it off the top of my head. Having kind of building the space, so it's kind of front of it, your base, where your main door is going to be, should kind of look like this. Getting into these spots over here, we'll upgrade this to stone. I'm trying to think here. Just give me a second. Yeah, we're gonna break this one, break that one as well. So don't, yeah. So feel free to upgrade. That's not what I want to do. All right. I just want to upgrade to stone. I feel like that it kind of shows where more of the core is gonna be. If that makes any sense. Oopsie daisy. And just, you know, if you guys are still watching the video, let me know if you guys are enjoying the video so far, and if you want more content like this, I'd love to do it. So just, that was significantly the wrong one there. Holy moly. Alright, stone that way alone. No, I didn't. Okay. So after those kind of adjustments, this is what we should look like so far with the base. And then you can also then add the triangles here. Some just additional honeycombing, which will upgrade that to stone. So I guess this is technically what it should look like then after the situation here. So if you can't already tell, it's gonna be some honeycombing here, which will be nice. Honeycombing here. Thing is, honeycombing standardly just gives an extra kind of layer of wall between that and then the wall at the core base, but you're gonna have core here. I'll show you what we're gonna do with this area right here. But then with these are gonna be obviously extra honeycomb, but then you're gonna have extra honeycomb here. So this is gonna be at least a wall here, a wall there. That's gonna be 2 walls, 3 walls, 4 walls here, and then that still puts you into a spot that's gonna have doors. And then this is obviously gonna be like the, you know, you're pretty much locked in. So we're gonna quickly, actually, yeah, you know, we'll wall this off real quick here, just to get kind of ideally what we're looking at the spot here. Oh, and I just, yeah, I messed that up hugely. I set the wrong spot. What are you doing, bro? You can't blow up my shit. What is this guy doing? All right, well, we can't build right there now because we just messed that up a little bit. I don't know. We have a special guest person with us today. I don't know this fella, I swear. He's not technically being bothered by, you know, I figure we just ignore him, he'll go away. Not sure what his beef with us is exactly. I mean, he doesn't own this plot of land. This was a really nice flat area to build, so I was pretty glad with that. Did I just cross it up again? I did, didn't I? Son of a... Oh my goodness. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Alright, but we're going to upgrade this to stone. And then we'll... Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bro. Oh my god, bro. Yeah! Take that, you bum. Yeah, okay. I don't know why we have this guy here bothering us, but he is trying to grief us, however, and that's not fun. So, that's for you, buddy. Yeah. Hate that guy. Alright. Hate that guy with a passion. So, not glad we, got rid of him. So that was actually, yeah, that was not fun. I'm just gonna be, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Preferably, I like putting a foundation here, just to kind of give some extra protection, where kind of main loot is. So, reason being, like then doing, you can really do a double door here. Yeah, so we'll do, I don't like doing garage doors as the first door out because they just are quite slow to open. So we're gonna do that there. Alright, so we're just gonna get this down real quick so he doesn't bother us anymore. Truly, that's the reason why we're setting this up now. We'll obviously replace that TC, but we have some pressing concerns with the guy. That was close though. He didn't lock the TC, and I luckily I got the base back. Otherwise, you guys would not have seen that, and I would have restarted the video. But let me just build this over a little bit. And obviously upgrade this to stone. Oh, that is the wrong one. Alright, so, I mean, actually messed up right here as well. Now, originally, is he back again, bro? There's no way. There's no way. Nah, he's not. He's not back. Thought he was for a second. Can't place that there. But originally, why I did want to have, if you don't add a door here, I'll still add it regardless because I did like how I had this before. I added this extra airlock. Is you kind of just have a peek window outside your main door. You know, it's just nice to have. Is he just blowing up shit? I don't know what he's doing. But it's just nice having it, you know, be able to see outside your front door, any door campers or whatnot, and we can't be. Are you fucking serious? What is this dude's deal with us? He is scrounging for attention right now. It is crazy. He's hungry for any attention. Parents must have not been for him when he was a job. Like, whew, this boy is going crazy. Yeah. So let's get a new TC here real quick that we can place properly. Oh, I already have one. What the hell? All right. All right. Let's add our TC here. Now, if you're gonna add a window here, which I personally like doing, make sure this floor is upgraded to armored, or if you're only planning on doing core to metal, make sure you plan on doing that because you actually can't upgrade then the floor below TC to whatever you want if you have a window here. And I actually dealt with that the hard way. So my my current base with this right now has a stone floor. So I found that out obviously the hard way, but what I do like doing here is obviously having this really juiced up. Is that the wrong way? Yeah, that was the wrong way. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll pop a roof here real quick if we can. There we go, beautiful. All right. So this is what the base should be looking like right now. You know, pretty open, spacious. See, we're gonna close that down real fast. First things first, we can start with is just kind of sealing off this honeycomb here. Oh, oopsie daisy. We'll hold off on these squares for right now, and I'll tell you why. Because could build something somewhere. All right, so let's repeat these. Now you got to keep in mind these interior honeycomb walls. These are gonna be pretty much stuck the way they are for a while, or actually like the rest of your wipe, because when we start upgrading the other stuff, it's gonna really close off the ability to upgrade this stuff. So if you're fine with this being stone and then this right here being metal, and then obviously got high qual right here, hey, that is cool, that is fine. We'll run with that. It is what it is. But if you don't want to do that, you gotta upgrade to metal, etc., because you know, with walls being right here, this is obviously not a traditional honeycomb, so you're not gonna have movement down here, and you're gonna be kind of bumping right here, and we have honeycomb right here as well, which isn't gonna help. But yeah, so let's start honeycombing. Oh, that is the wrong way. That's not what we want to do. I have the hard side out. I don't know why I flipped that. But I'm just gonna do it for stone right now, just for the purpose of the video right now, because it's a more realistic build if you're like just starting and you're not having to upgrade everything to like metal or better. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure, metal and better, you know, is gonna absolutely annihilate everything. But we're gonna do metal here, kind of everything kind of core inside. So that's what we'll do. We're actually gonna upgrade these as well to metal. You also got to keep in mind that these... You gotta be fucking kidding me, bro. What is this guy doing? I can't die to this, right? Yeah, okay. I don't know though. So, keep in mind that it's going to kind of be the same ruling with the honeycomb right here, because it's going to be a similar situation. Once you upgrade it, you know, you're obviously going to want to take care of the honeycomb here first, because, I mean, luckily I have an open floor plan here. But, yeah, we got some fucking trouble here, so this is just wonderful. We are, however, going to upgrade this to metal because it runs up against our honeycomb walls here. So that's what we're going to do. I don't get this guy's issue with us. So we're going to take care of this here. Sorry, this is not a valid step for step. Am I tweaking? The fuck? Alright, well this is... Why this should be happening? Like... No, no, what are you talking about? Alright, well that's not what I meant to do. I don't know why this be happening. Well, I have a solution for that. I thought I was gonna be able to avoid it, because of my base that I ended up doing in my wife. I didn't get the opportunity to properly use the honeycomb here at the 4 points that we labeled out at the beginning. And it was purely because I accidentally upgraded the single stones that were here, but yeah, I don't know why we're technically listed as like not enough room here, which kind of sucks, I'll be honest. Not entirely sure why, but alright, well, I guess we'll just make it a bit stronger here. This guy's really pissing me off. I don't know what this dude's deal is. Oh my goodness. Alright, so we're gonna actually have to end up breaking these 4 corners. And then we're gonna have to place these foundations back down. Upgrade that to sheet metal. It's not what I wanted, but clearly we're at a stage where it's like, alright, well, you can only do that. So, because clearly nothing else is working here, so we'll place the walls here. And this will be... I also have to flip this real quick. Alright, beautiful. Flip that. Boom. Alright. This... Is he breaking shit? Is he trying to thatch over? What the... Oh. Alright, I'll lose my train of thought here. Sorry about that. Alright, flip that again. Alright, so it is taking damage. What the hell? You gotta be... Bro, come on. Alright, well, that's annoying, to say the least. Okay, well, let's just, fix that up, make sure we have all the honeycomb currently done at the moment. Now this is kind of optional of how you want to do this here. In the base that I did, I actually put wall frames here with double doors. They didn't really lead anywhere. It was kind of just like a throw off the Raiders type of move, you know, like make them think twice, if that makes, you know, any sense. That's really all I was trying to do with that. Place that down. Alright, so let's take care of these, finally. Gonna have pretty protective inside here. Oopsie daisy. Yeah, like I said, I don't have the capabilities here that other people have. Yeah, so like I said, this is pretty much just gonna literally lead you to like nothing. Like, I just pretty much put it there because, like, say you have extra doors or something, and you're like, all right, well, maybe you know, trick the Raiders into thinking, you know, it's one way when it's not. But you know, that's just what I was kind of thinking. You guys don't have to do that. You can just wall it off like normal honeycomb. It's completely fine thing to do. There's no big deal with that. We're gonna wall off main village here. Main core. I don't know why the hell I called it main village. And this is kind of preference of how you want to do this. I was actually looking at maybe moving the entrance here because you'll have, let's see, the main door here, right? Then say garage door, garage door, garage door, garage door better. You're gonna have, you know, some other stuff here. I mean, do you want the door there? You want them to push them through more garage doors and maybe have them go through here? You know, it's... I was just looking at options here for you guys, but you want to put a wall back here as well. This is gonna be the back end to your loot room. We're gonna want to flip that as well, and then we're also gonna want to seal this off, like that, and that. Actually, we'll flip that. We'll flip that. Yeah. Okay, so we'll make this obviously. Let's So we'll make this armored. Make this armored, we'll make this armored. And if you want to push them, I mean, if you want to just have a straight path to base, you know, one way to do it, obviously, you know, it's actually not a bad idea to have them push the other way. You know, well, yeah, we'll do that. So if not, you can either do a wall frame here or here and make that the front room decor. Thinking about it now, that's actually not a bad idea to kind of push them around to the other side. So that's what we're running with right now. Alright, sweet. Alright, so we have everything hard side. Yeah, looks like it. Alright. Alright, so let's start placing some interior stuff here real quick. Actually, you know what, let's take care of loot rooms here real quick. So you want to do that. Pretty standard, you know, get the half wall, then you want to pull the ramp out. You don't got to use the ramp here. I like using it. That's not the ramp. I mean the, you know, the A ramp. I don't know why the hell I have the wrong one here. So I'll put that to metal. And we still can't place that. Alright, let's just jump to the other side real quick and start working on this one. So you'll have kind of two big loot rooms down here on the first floor. And these can honestly really be wherever you want. They don't have to be right here. You can also kind of move them around or only have the one. I think having the two, you know, allows for more to be stored within the core. And since the core is going to be pretty much the most highest secured spot here, I know I can place it here. I'm trying to figure out if I have to. I might actually have to break this first. Okay, am I tweaking? I might just be fucking tweaking. Can I place the... Okay. So you actually have to place that first, unfortunately. I don't know why it's like that, but... Alright, we can't upgrade that, and I believe it's because there's just the one thing in front of it, but... We'll take care of the other side here real quick. Let's get the A ramp going. Oh, we just had it. There we go. Alright. So let's just upgrade this real quick here to sheet metal. And this is my first base building video, so if I am doing something that could, you know, be used, you know, for improvement, please feel free to let me know. Constructive criticism always helps, and I do seek that to make better videos for you guys, or girls, whoever watches. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's guys, so. But, yeah, so you have your two loot rooms, kind of back-to-back sides over here. And what we'll do here is you want to actually pop a... Well, actually, I take that back. You don't want to... Well, technically, yes. You want to pop that right there, and let's go get the ladder hatch. Where is the ladder hatch? Right here. So you want to go triangle, ladder hatch. That's what we're looking for. Want to have that just pop down like that. Beautiful. All right. So we're going to start jumping up here. Oh my god, it's fucking back again, bro. Leave it alone, brother. Alright, so let's first seal this off here. So let's actually worry about doing the metal here first. This guy can't be serious. Alright, so let's seal this all off. And now, once we do this, we're going to work on a pancake layer. Now, if you don't know what that is, honestly, if you watch Rust content, you've probably watched Stevie. I believe he does it in a lot of his bases that he uses. So that's what we're going for here. And big key here, before we get into that, you're going to want to make this central core thing, make that all armored. Is he throwing fucking C4 on my... But we cannot be serious. That's going to blow up my shit. Oh, it's not. Does this guy actually piss off, bro? Alright, so all of the current thatch we have currently... Oopsie daisy. If you want to upgrade the metal, just because this is like the most important stuff so far. I get some night vision goggles here sooner or later. Oh my fucking god. Dude, I'm sorry if you're using the lower advantage, but what are you doing, bro? Leave me alone, dog. This guy has nothing. There's 30 people. Alright, hold on. We gotta go grab some night vision here. Give me 1 second to pop these bad boys on. Alright. Okay, it's actually... no, it's definitely not too bright. Alright, so we got the night vision on now. Let's see here. I'm trying to just make sure we did all this properly. Yep. So we got that right there. So actually, I believe we did actually cover this one right here. So, yep, my fault on that one. We'll do that. There's everything else that shouldn't be covered. Yep. Alright, looking pretty good. And then you can just fill these ones with stone. This is pretty much going to be treated as honeycomb yet again. So, yep, I mean, looking now, I mean, you have a very capable, if you want to stop here, a very capable, very wide, base here. Obviously, if you want to go through the ladder hatch, that would be your biggest weakness, because it only has 250 HP, same as a sheet metal door. However... we're not gonna do that. We're gonna step up. Alright, so I believe, let's see here. We added that. Alright, so let's add the half walls here. Oopsie daisy. We're getting on to the second floor. This is gonna be your main loot area slash, like, really whatever you got in here. I mean, it's gonna be... yeah, I mean, I personally like to do it where I have 2 full loot rooms, then I have one for, like, say, inside furnaces. And then one's like the research room, computer station you set up, you know, repair bench. I personally like kind of how that functions. But yeah, first thing you want to do definitely on the pancake layer is going to be reinforcing the core of the pancake layer. Absolutely, because that is, without a doubt, the most important part of the base here. So now let's get into actually upgrading. We'll upgrade this to stone. Ideally, you want to match it with whatever is below the on the outside. On the outside, whether that be stone or metal, you just want to have that match. You don't want to have this outlier there. I mean, if you get close to a base, you can tell there's a pancake layer, right? But if you're, you know, from a distance, or, you know, hey, say there's a raider that just wants to come to the side, and they don't even realize it, they just start booming on the side with RPGs, they're not going to see, they might not realize that there's a pancake layer, so, or whatever, so. Might affect how they raid. I'm not really sure I'm explaining it properly right now, but that is what I'm going for right now. So let's just start walling some of this off. And that's what you want to do right here. You want to just make this honeycomb pretty much be honeycomb from wherever you are, and then with the stuff across for here, which I'm actually not going to worry about upgrading this right now, just from save some time. Actually, no, we'll do it. We could go to editing episode, right? But you want to upgrade this to stone, or if you want to upgrade to metal, feel free to do that. It's going to be, you know, something like this is going to be your last chance at upgrading it, because you're not going to have an opportunity to do it again. So some kind of saying stones, because at the time of making the base, people aren't going to have a lot of stuff to make it stuff with. Now, I'd say what you want to do is just do one more layer around the central core, or not central, like the additional core right here, and then this will be your final kind of half-wall section, because everything else can just be connected, and, you know, the pancake layer would have done its job. Now, if you want to add some half-walls in the middle, feel free to do so. I'm not going to stop you. Obviously, you know, if you don't have the mats to facilitate something like that, you know, don't, oh shit, hold on a second. That's not going to work. I actually didn't want to upgrade that, so we're going to jump back up there and take care of that, because, since that was an additional thing on the... Okay, so yeah, we're just going to leave that one story. We're not going to touch that at all. Reason being, you know, it comes into effect later, so just stay on par with that, but we're going to upgrade this. Let's get some triangles in here. That's not meant to do there. right. See daisy or see daisy. There we go. Now you're probably curious at how we're gonna work that ladder hatch. One thing I actually did find out, the ladder hatch can still be used even with an additional half wall. It still works nearly as effective. You just gotta give it a little jump to use it, but it still works beautifully. So we're actually gonna grab that real quick. Now, if you upgrade the ladder hatch beforehand, like don't worry, I'll upgrade it here. Actually, no, I'll destroy it for the purpose of the situation we're putting in. But you know, I can upgrade that to metal. Now, I will say, you know, with the pancake layer, if you have the spare metal at the time to upgrade, you know, the central area to metal as well, do that. You know, it helps a lot better when we put the hard side, actually, go soft side there. Okay, and then we gotta put the beautiful. All right. And just to show you that it does in fact work, we're gonna go down here and look at that. Still a climbable, very dandy ladder. All right, now let's get into actually fixing this here. All right. Oopsie, there's one. Alright, so now you have your pancake layer done. Your base is very, very well protected here. Yeah, I mean the core, if they want to do a top down, they gotta go through pancake layer of sheet metal and then some high Q metal to get to your main base. So let's get into the next layer here, which is gonna be your loot area. So let's just obviously take care of the honeycombing here again. Oopsie. Once we get that taken care of, we're gonna give it the good old upgrade. Stone is reliable. It's cheap at the time when you don't got metal, but if you got metal, feel free to do so. You can also upgrade this outer bit to anything else at a later time. So that's the good thing about this is we're actually going to utilize this outer ring a lot. So if you upgrade this honeycomb to stone at the time, don't fret it because you will be able to we'll be given chances to upgrade it at another time. So do not worry about that at all. All right, and it does look like it's in daytime. We'll still rock the night vision off right now. Alright, and then obviously we gotta get the walls down here. Now a lot of this base is gonna be like the interior bit is gonna be, you know, that higher tiered like building stuff. So we're actually gonna make this sheet metal here beautiful. Have that face that way. Beautiful. This gives an additional, you know, problem to the raiders when they're trying to get into the base. Now, when it comes to the next layer, however, on top of this one, since this is the loot room, you are technically like, hey, you know, it would be fine, you know, if you wanted to make another pancake layer. However, I didn't, but for the sake of the video, and the sake of, since I was pretty much upgrading this base, throughout the process of, this video, I think that, having an extra layer, you know, this layer, however, is going to be optional, I will say. I think you 1000% need a layer over core, alright? Because the thing is, this base, not an easy raid design, but with the core being the 6 triangles, if someone were to just RPG the center bit right here, they'd be able to break all 6 of these. So having that pancake layer defeats rockets out of the, you know, equation, and if you wanted to have that second one, that's going to take out more rockets out of the equation. So just keep that in mind, alright? But, let's get kind of into how the loot rooms look. I'm not going to upgrade, this because it's just pretty standard stuff here. I mean, like the levers stuff over here, but all right. Actually, I didn't mean to do this. Take that back. Alright, so if you're looking at the loot rooms here, you can really have these anywhere. I do suggest having them diagonal from each other and then having the two rooms diagonal from each other as well. Or, I mean, across from each other. So we'll have the other loot room over here. Just see this one doesn't bother us at all. Flip that, flip that. Alright, boom, do that. Alright, and boom, another one taken care of. Alright, and we'll do like a finished run throughout the base. At the end, you know, kind of give a finished tour of it, if you will. But yeah, this is what the two loot rooms look like, and then we'll just toss on the door here for right now of the other two rooms. Alright, so this will be, you know, either your spare furnace room or your computer station area. Oopsie daisy. That's what we're kind of running with there. I'll upgrade these door frames here just for purposes. But then once again, you're gonna want to give some good old upgrades here to the center. Now, it doesn't really matter where you put the door. Put it right here though. The door here. And then we are going to do another, whatchamacallit, triangle ladder hatch, if we can get our hands on another one. There we go. Alright. See daisy. And let's spawn that open. And we'll start getting to work on our second pancake layer. Like I said, it's optional, but if it's optional, I feel like I must show you. You know what I mean? It's just, it seems right. So. Alright, so we're looking at the goods here. Yeah, so this base, and it's, once it gets going, I mean, this thing's nice. You gotta trust me on that. From the ton of honeycomb from the bottom to on the first floor, I mean, to the double pancake layer, it helps make this base. Yes, adding a pancake layer to base probably, you know, increases raid, I don't know what I'm looking for, like survivability chance, maybe something like that, by a lot. Probably not wrong, but this base offers you tons more, and we'll get to that. Obviously, core is great, tons of room for loot now, with there at least being what, 8, 16, 32 large boxes, and we don't really get done with anything. We'll also show you kind of how much garage doors are in the building. we're obviously gonna upgrade. Just keep on upgrading the honeycomb areas to just stone. I think we're kind of just, you know, we've dubbed the honeycomb stone right now. If you have a couple 100,000, whatchamacallit, stone on you to, you know, or not stone, metal fragments on you to, you know, take care of everything to whatchamacallit, metal, by all means, go on and do that. Alright, so now we got that. Obviously, we'll start working on our pancake layer here. Alright, now you have your little shindig done here. Let's start focusing. And this will be to the roof. Just want to give a clear. And the reason we're not using the ladder hatches, I'd personally like the entrance exit from roof to be more than 250 HP. So that's why we're going to be using garage door for this one. We're going to place it right here. Beautiful. Alright. So upgrade this to good old metal. Have your doors there. Alright. And now, this next part, it's kind of not, like, up to you, but, like, alright, so, here's what we're gonna do, actually. Yeah, this will be good. I don't want to kill myself for fall damage, so let's... We are gonna drop down here. Alright, so let's get the front of the base right here. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's pop this fucking thing right here. Oh, see, I forgot you gotta... Does it not show decaying? FTC proof, so... Okay, it just doesn't show, okay. I was just curious why it wasn't like that, but... We're just gonna place this right here. You could place it a little further if you want. I just wanted to get a gauge for you guys here in a second. Alright. So we now have our gate right over here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Alright, I'm not exactly remembering how to do this, but... You almost gotta, like, rotate a few times between the stuff here. And the reason why I did a lot of these doors here, primarily windows, as you'll see later on, was because the doors offered a substantial peak on the gate entrance, right? Than the windows did. Like I can't literally look down on this, right? But if I had like right here, so I can you look all the way down, even like crouch over here, you know, it's not the traditional door peaks that you see. It's not. But yeah. So we only have 4 doors. And let's see here. I'm trying to remember how I did this. Yeah. Okay, I got it. Obviously, you don't want to prevent too many windows because if you have too many, you're gonna be a liability of just getting beamed through a lot of them. I mean, that's the main issue with having too many because yeah, it's great, but it comes at a cost then. So we'll upgrade this to stone, get that taken care of. We'll add in the doors and the grates later, right? But I will show what we use here. Okay, well, I gotta wait now. I will show what we use. Um, I believe they're called the vertical embrasures. They're the ones with the like up and down slits on the left to right slits. I think it's the vertical embrasures. I'm like 90% sure. Got it. Alright, but for reference here, you'll just have normal sheet metal doors right here, and we'll place a couple just so you can kind of get the general idea of what we're going for here. So looking for the vertical metal embrasures here, so we'll go grab a couple. It really doesn't really matter which way you do this. I preferably like opening the door outward, just, you know, in case you are trying to do it. Maybe it covers a little bit of, like, maybe you get shot from somewhere, right? Or, it's like this area, you know, I personally, this side, significantly better, because if you open this, right, you're trying to peek out, this whole area is blocked, you know what I mean? So, you can't get shot now from that area, because it's almost like a little bit of a shield. But with the metal embrasures, you obviously want to make sure they're outside the wall. So you might get them like this. You want to move it around a little bit, and then bang, outside the wall. You're a-okay then. So that's what we're looking like over here. I'm gonna fix this real quick. Like I said, we'll show a complete finished base here at the end, but let's get into the roof, which is one of my favorite parts of this base because it is so massive. I mean, no, I'm not talking about low tape. It's just already. This is gonna be a little bit of trial and error here when it comes to the roof, because now we have this whole open plan access, and what if I tell you we are able to get a roof that fits perfectly with the stuff. So yeah, kid you not, it actually works beautifully. Alright, so I gotta try and think here. Which ones go where? So we don't use these outer ones, I just want to say, because it would just be crazy jagged, you know. So we actually do is it's this. If we can actually place it, that'd be sick. Maybe not. Okay, well, that's... There we go. Alright. And look. Alright, guys. We serious right now? Maybe it was the middle one? It's gotta be... There we go. Alright. I was gonna say, that is not off to a great start. We'll place... Oops, it is. Place that there. Place that there. Place that there. So you just gotta angle it right. And when beta was out, you actually literally could not place this unless you were underneath. It was actually pretty bad. There we go. Build that again. Build that again. Boom. Alright. And I'll be honest with you. You could totally make some just normal shooting floors here. Would not upset you at all. However, if you do want to go the roof route here, you know, that's totally the spot to do. However, I will say, what the roof allows you to do is basically kind of counter people from jumping up via ladders onto your base. Now, if you have spikes on top, that's one thing, but yeah, I personally like doing the full roof. I believe it's not that. Okay, I believe it's just the roof then. Yep, there it is. Alright. So like I said, you could... Okay, so before I finish with this, I'll add these two. What I was saying, if no one really kind of understood what I was saying, is you could either do like a doorway or a window and have some, like, you know, embrasures here where you could, you know, let's just get a grab a gun real quick. You know, you could, you know, instead of having to go on top of the roof, you could have, you know, some access points right here, or you could, you know, push the top of the roof. Obviously here if you want to have some under, you know, low spots here, but I personally love the roof. That's just kind of how the base design is, but like I said, it's it allows, you know, room for personalization. You know what I mean? And the great thing about this too, this pad, is I'll get to it. I'll get to it. Actually, can I call in? No, I can't. Okay. Alright, but yeah, so this is gonna be the beautiful roof, and I'm not a huge techie guy, but I do know people can slam some windmills on here easily with all the room you have up here. But yeah, I mean, this is just... It's such a wide space up here, so let's just go down to the bottom of the base here real quick. Alright, so we have obviously the shooting floor here. Alright, some empty floors in here, you know, your loot rooms, your furnace rooms, etc. Drop down again here. Got main core here. TC is gone. Alright, let me place a new one here. Not sure where you went, TC, but we're gonna get you back here. That is something, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna go outside here real quick. And I mean, look at the base. I mean, the base is no joke. You know what I mean? This thing is a menace. Let me tell you, it's a menace. Now I'm gonna cut the video, and I'm gonna do a brand new, you know, kind of house tour of with everything filled on the inside. So I'll see you then.